It's time for that daily solutions podcast,
baby. Boom. Back to this episode of the Float Solutions podcast.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Daily Solutions podcast.
The Daily Float Solutions podcast.
With your hosts, Ashkahn.
Hey.
Which, by the way, contains every letter of both of our names.
Yep.
So, today's question is, how many float centers are there in the country? Which I assume means the United States.
Okay. That is, I feel like pretty much all our episodes start off with us saying that we really don't actually have a good idea about what we're talking about.
I mean, all of our episodes so far have started that way.
Okay, so we don't really know. We don't really know how many float centers there are. I guess first thing we should clarify is what counts as a float center.
Also, nor does anyone. Right?
Yeah.
It's not just us. I actually think that there's not a single person that could give you a totally accurate count of float centers in the United States.
Maybe the government, spying.
Definitely not the government. There are like 10. There's 10 float centers out there.
So what counts as a float center, I think, is the first thing we need to answer for this.
So I would say anything that's available commercially to the public, right? If it's a float tank in someone's house, that doesn't count unless they're also running paid floats out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it does count.
So maybe we should just say our best guesses at the same time.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
1,
2,
3,
500.
350, 500 in the
United
United
States? Sorry, I was thinking of U.S. and Canada. I was thinking of U.S. and Canada. Okay, ready to do it again?
Well,
this time?
Okay. 1, 2, 3,
483.
83? You think there's 13 float centers in Canada?
Sorry, I'm going to say 383. 17. I just got excited. My mouth got a hold of me. I think there's like above 350. I think there's somewhere in
like 400.
383 is my guess.
383. Okay. Yeah,
the
350 to 400 is my best guess. But I don't know. I mean, it's.
I did a really bad job there of the guessing game.
Yeah.
I immediately forgot what we were guessing about. Okay. Bringing it back in.
I mean, so it's hard to know what these numbers are for the past as well. Like when we started up in 2010, I had the feeling that there was like 80 places across the U.S., maybe 100, but like a lot of those, when you actually looked at them, were a float tank that was a part of a much bigger spa or a float tank in someone's apartment, or, like when you're actually thinking of like a business on a retail street that has 4 float tank, a number of float tanks, stuff like that. Like there was just a small handful back then.
Yep, and so this is 2010 now historically that we're kind of talking about.
Yeah.
And when we opened in 2010, we do know the number of 4 tank centers that there were in the United States, and there was nothing bigger than that in the U.S., right? So there was 4 tank centers. Is that right?
So there was us.
I use the word no loosely here.
Kind of no. Maybe I'll count off and we can take our guesses at the same time. There was
383.
Us. There was True Rest. There was iFloat in Connecticut and Spacetime.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we opened up.
Yep.
And so when we popped up, we were the 4th 4 tank center.
I believe so.
And the other 2 had only opened within a year prior to us. So if you were taking 2008 numbers, then that would only be Spacetime tanks that had 4 tanks.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward to now, I still have no idea how many 4 tank centers there are. But
no,
it's
harder to count now.
It doesn't take a lot to realize that there are a lot. I mean, they're popping up all over the place, and much bigger centers too.
Yeah.
6 tanks, 7 tanks, 8 tanks.
11 tanks.
Yeah, they're getting really big. And that number, I think, is almost more interesting to look at, too. And if you look at the industry report from Float Tank Solutions, you'll see from 2016 that number of new centers who want to start with more tanks is only going up, too. It's kind of turning from what maybe used to be more of this cottage enterprise with a tank in a spa or a tank in a house, and we're counting those as float centers, too. Now, if you're opening a float center, it means you're opening a 3 to 6 tank kind of big deal, and oftentimes 5 or 6 tanks, too.
Yeah, I mean, even just like depending on when you're listening to this episode, if it's been a year since we recorded this, like these numbers are probably wrong at this point. Like it's everything's growing at a really tremendous rate. And so it's hard to keep up and really have a good kind of finger on the pulse when everything is changing so quickly.
But you heard it here. Our best guess is around 2,000 centers
Yeah,
in the United States.
yeah. About 1,900 of which are just here in Portland.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed our meandering through today's question, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Check a boom.